Hello reader friends, today is Tuesday, and yesterday I decided to do a challenge for the week to count how many pages I'm reading. So it being summer, I don't have to work. I don't really have anything big planned this week, so it will be a lot of reading, I hope. But with the challenge, I hope that keeps me from being on my phone too much. Because I was on, not my phone, but I was on the computer pretty much all day Monday. I started a podcast that's the same as this YouTube, but it might be different later. I don't know. So podcast, mostly because I'm starting a new adventure and I wanted to practice. Stay tuned. But, and then I had to make this video, this week's video. And then I did my Substack newsletter, which I also paused and wrote a poem from a prompt for. And then what else did I do? Just tested other things on how to make a podcast. So got it on Apple. It was just a lot of my computer time. So anyway, I'm hoping the rest of the week is not consumed with screens and that it's consumed with books. All right, so yesterday I read over 170 words, I hope, pages. And I don't have my journal with me right now because that's where I'm tracking it, but I think it was about 170. I picked up Momo Arashima Steals the Sword of the Wind, or Wind Sword, something like that. Read We Don't Swim Here, and then also read some of Dear Henry. Read a lot of Dear Henry, I think. And then today I finished We Don't Swim Here. It's an audiobook. And I've been reading, all right, then I started, oh my gosh, Emma Straub's Time Is Now, or I can't think of, okay, anyway, another audiobook. Now I am enjoying, because I had to run, I got my hair done, so I had to run some errands, and then I went and ran. By the way, it's super hot. It's warm. Sorry, I had to reach down and get my book that I'm reading out here on the hammock is The Magic Words, Writing Great Books for Children and Young Adults. So super exciting. Actually, I am really excited. I know you might not be if you're not a writer, but this book has come highly recommended as a great craft book. And yeah, it's written by an editor. And yeah, I'm excited. I just started. I'm reading it with my critique group, and so I think we have to read 2 chapters. And yeah, so that's what I'm diving into right now. I did find it funny that right off the bat in the prologue, or an introduction, she said, what was your favorite book when you were a kid? And then listed off several, and my favorite was on there. And I thought, she knows me. Actually, several of my favorites were on there. And other books that she's mentioned, I'm like, yes, I love all of these kids' books. Oh my gosh, I just love it. And yeah. Okay, I'm rambling now, so I'm going to get off here, enjoy my view, enjoy the heat and humidity, and enjoy the magic words. Take care. This is the view. It's so green. And I don't know if you can hear the birds chirping and just nature. And it's wonderful. Wonderful. Yeah, I'm just beginning. Alright, so it's Thursday and I'm very proud of myself. Last night I finished 2 books. I finished Dear Henry and I finished Momo. And both were fantastic reads. Dear Henry, gosh, I love Caitlin Barron. She's my favorite. And I got so that's part of like a series, not a series, but a collection, a remix of classics. And so I got the Wuthering Heights one. I don't remember what it's called, but I'm excited for that. And I forgot who the author was. It's not someone I've read before. I've also started Sybil. This is a book club book. And I mean, I read this when I was in high school. It even has my name in there before I got married. And I'm excited to reread it, but then come to find out it's fake. So this is about a girl with 16 personalities, and she actually made them all up, which still says a lot about her mental health. So going under that lens is kind of interesting, and yeah, I'm enjoying this reread. It's actually quite quick, even though the font is super tiny and like crammed on the page here. This is a really old copy. So, and then yes, I finished Momo. So my goal is to finish this and then switch to Age of Vice, finish that. So those are my goals for the week. And then whatever I read on my Kindle. Oh, I also started Illumine on an audiobook and on my Kindle, because I wanted to read the physical copy because I like the layout of the pages, which actually on my Kindle isn't really how it looks. So I kind of feel like I should have a hardcover. But anyway, someone said on a Reddit post, a channel that I follow about books, that the audiobooks were fantastic, like a full cast. So it actually is really good. So started that last night as well, and I'm gonna read along on my phone, but I may go to the library and see if they have the physical copy. And I also already have Gemini, which is the second one. So I'm ready to kind of reread those, and then kind of going on that sci-fi trend, maybe start Red Rising. I don't know. We shall see. You never know. And now I'm just going to watch some of Cups and Thoughts YouTube channel. She does a lot of like cozy videos. I mean, you do have to pay attention to them because she doesn't speak to, in them, but I'm just gonna have it on as the background while I read Sybil and just kind of look and see. Her aesthetic is so pleasing, and save it to watch it later. Twix? Twix. Hello friends, it's Friday, and I just discovered or rediscovered Dewey's Reverse Readathon is today at 8 p.m. So I'm really excited. The Reverse Readathon is kind of to help those in a different, to help make it fair for each hemisphere and time zones and all of that. So it starts at 8 p.m. instead of, I think, usually at 8 a.m. Anyway, I know I won't stay up all night and read. I know that that's not going to happen. And what usually happens when I try to keep my time at night while I'm laying in bed is I usually let my timer keep going and I accidentally fall asleep. So let's hope that doesn't happen. I will try to read as much as I can. It actually has officially started 30 minutes ago. So I've already lost 30 minutes. And that is the mind game. That is a 24-hour readathon when you're like with other people too. But that's okay. It's okay. Everyone has to take breaks, start whenever they can, and I could just start now, and I probably will just start my 24 hours as soon as I actually start reading, and then I'll be honest as it goes. Another thing I really like about Dewey's Readathon is the photo prompts and the Instagram community. It's just kind of fun to see what other people are reading, and so I'm tying this in with my weekly blog, but I hope that some of the Dewey's people find it, so that way they can kind of share in what they read. So I wanted to share the books on my TBR, and I wanted to also share my reading journal spread that I made because I really like it. And then I'm going to get to reading. So, and talk about my goals. So I'll start with my reading journal. I love this journal, by the way. It's my reading and writing one. And let's see here. I used to be a much bigger, on bullet journaling with my books, and I'm trying to get back into it. I still haven't quite gotten there, but I'm just doing what feels right instead of doing all of the books. And so this was one of mine, like trying to get back into it. And I do still need to erase my pencil marks, but it'll work. So here is my spread, and these are all of the photo prompts. So I'll just color in the bubbles when I do them. And then I did Dewey's Reverse Readathon, July 1st, 2023, and then this cute little cat sitting on a stack of books. I don't know yet how I'm going to track my reading on here, if I'm going to just track books I read, time, pages, all of it. I know in a previous journal I have one, so let's look and see what I did last time. Okay, so this is my very first reading journal and bullet journal, whatever. I loved this thing so much. So, and I loved that it was a spiral. I might go back to it. The pages are nice too. If I could find one that fits inside my leather. Okay, so I have a 24 and 48 challenge page. Let's see what that one looks like. I have so many reviews, and see, I feel like I was amazing at my journaling. I need to do this again. I do. And then also this, blank pages. Okay, focus. I also liked this journal because it was numbered already, the pages. Okay, and I actually kept up with the table of contents. So look at me using my table of contents, page 88. I don't know, this may not have been very fancy. It was not very fancy. So I did the hours, books, my official count, my goal. That's not bad. That's not bad. I may do something like that. Make a book list, make a goal, put my hours in. And I may also do pages, and each box represents 10 pages or something. Yeah, I might do that. And I also like how I color-coded it. So the orange was the nameless city. The blue was a gathering of shadows. Green. Wait, I'm confused at my thought here, but maybe they aren't color-coded. They're not color-coded. Because the nameless city would not have taken 6 hours. It's a graphic novel. Okay, they're not color-coded. Just looking up. Anyway. Okay, so it was fun though to look back at. I feel like I had another one that was super fancy. But, it's probably not. I may be thinking of, gosh, I did some really good things on her. Yeah, I don't see it. Oh my gosh. Where's my little girl? Wait, I couldn't even write. Oh, I'm glad I kept that page. Okay. Yeah. That's okay though. Maybe it was this one. It could have very well been this one. And sometimes I do digital, so maybe I'm thinking of something else. Okay, so that's my old one. That kind of. All right, let's talk goals. I'm not going to do a time goal. I'm just going to read as much as I can. I'm going to try to stay off my phone. I have had to recharge my phone twice today. So I'm on it way too much. Now, I was doing a lot of good things, like with a new book club I'm running and some emailing. However, I, already maxed out my Instagram time. I'm hoping with this Dewey's Readathon, I don't want to get lost in the photo challenges too much because I want to focus on the reading. So I don't know if I'll try to do, instead of every hour, maybe every other hour posting on my Instagram, the photo challenges. I may just skip some of them because, or who knows what's going to happen. Sometimes I never even post. But I will post my TBR. I'll at least start there, and I always post the end. So let's talk books I want to read, though. So I've got some books that I really need to get read. What is this? What is this, Alexis? There's some books I really need to get read. So for the first book that I really need to finish is Sybil. This is, I've talked about it a little bit, with the 16 personalities of a woman. It's supposed to be true. It was published in, first published in 1973. So it came out after the Sybil made it up. But people are still really, there's a lot of argument out there on if she was making it up, and also the exploitation of her, but then did she go along with it? She was drugged with something at one point, I think, by the psychiatrist. I don't really know. I haven't gotten to that point yet. The psychiatrist did give her something to calm down one time, though. However, true or not, I read this when I was in high school. Loved it. I loved the psychology stuff when I was a teenager. And I am still loving this book. I think it's written interestingly. It's almost written like a fiction, so it's easy for me to think of it that way if it's not true. And we may never know what actually transpired between the author of this book, the psychiatrist, and Sybil. But I am tabbing all of the places that a new personality comes up or we learn something. And I also tabbed a place that it mentioned to the state I'm in was part of their idiom. That was interesting. That was my first tab. But then just moments either with a new personality or just a groundbreaking moment. Like there's one where she decides she is going to tell the psychiatrist what's happening, about things that are happening. But Sybil is very, I don't know, there's a lot left wondering. There are pictures too. I'm almost to that point. Anyway, this is part of my book club, and we meet on Sunday. So I need to finish this book by Sunday. Now, it's not hard to go through. I'm finding myself going through pages pretty easily. However, I'm also not it's not holding my attention very well, and I'm finding myself skimming. So anyway, I've got some other books to kind of help me break up this book. So I can make it in chunks. So this is the first priority, but I may have to take breaks to read something else to kind of keep me going. So one of those books that I'm going to read as a break or a snack is Spin by Rebecca Caprara. Now, this isn't necessarily a short book. It is a book in verse, okay? So it is shorter. It is still over 300 pages long, though. But I'm excited to read it. It also feels lovely. I know it's an art, but man, this book feels nice to hold. The cover is nice. So that is, I've actually chosen all books in verse as my break books. So that's the first one. Then I also have a Work in Progress by Jarrett Lerner, and this one is also a book in verse and also has doodles. So again, I think it's still about 300 pages. However, it'll be a quicker read, and I'm really excited to read this one because this is like a Jarrett Lerner. It's based on things that happened in his life, I believe. so I think it'll be great. He's also a great human, so that always helps. And then the next book is Forever Is Now. I have been just holding on to this book until the right moment, and it's now. Forever is now. It's now. It's just such a pretty book. It is so pretty. It is so pretty. I always like to look under the book jacket just in case. So I am excited to dive into this one. Also a book and verse. This one's young adult, I believe, and it is also over 300 pages. So big novels and verse, however, still good breaks and something I love. So those three and this next one are all books also on my 30 to read in 3 months, which I'm like halfway through, so I really need to move that along. So I need to focus on those books more. And the last book on my TBR is Age of Vice, which I've been reading. I'm halfway through almost, and I miss it. I put it down because I had Part of Your World by Abby Jimenez was due soon, so I wanted to read that so I could read yours truly. And then my daughter wanted me to read Momo Arashima, so I read that. And then I realized book club is Sunday, so I moved to Sybil, and now it's time to get back into this. I also have books on my Kindle that I will also read, especially at night. Currently, I'm reading the 13 Doors, Wolves Behind Them All, something like that. Sorry. Anyway, it's supposed to be like really, I've heard really good things about it, and it's by an author that is so Kate Messner is a children's author who hosts a teacher right every July, and she helps give teachers prompts for writing, and then she has guests, and this is one of the guests. So I wanted to read it. I got all of the guests' books to read that I hadn't read already, and so that's one of them. And then also I'm torn because I've already talked about this. I want to read Red Rising, but I also want to read the Wuthering Heights remix. So I don't know. And I also just got approved on a NetGalley for a really fantastic book, and I forgot what it's called. House of Marion. And I really want to read it. I've gotten a lot of books on NetGalley lately that I really want to read, and yeah, so the chaos in the mind is happening a lot. Okay, I'm rambling. I am taking up too much time that I should be reading, so I'm going to get off here. I'm going to post my TBR on my Instagram, and I'm going to start reading. And then I also hope to maybe host a reading sprint. I'll let you know how that goes. I only have 21 subscribers. I know I shouldn't. It's still, that's a lot. That's a lot for me. It's good. It's fine. It's hard when you watch people who have like 50,000. You're like, how in the world? But that's okay. That's okay. I might do a reading sprint. We'll see. Because the 24 hours is going to go by so fast because some of it's at night. Like, well, it's always at night, but like, I'm going to lose a good 12 hours. So I don't know if tomorrow I will do a reading sprint. I could do one that ends it. That's not a bad idea. I might do one that ends it, like the last stretch. That's kind of a good idea. And then I can work on it. Okay. We'll blabber, blah, blah, blah. And we're going to go read. And I'm really excited and wish me luck. Also, I will be forever thankful for this lazy kitty that I can help me get the reading pages in tomorrow, because he will lay next to me for hours. Won't you, buddy? Yes. You ready for Readathon? Are you ready? Let's do it. Okay, so it is Saturday, 10:40 a.m. So this is hour 12 of the, no, 14, hour 14, almost 15. I don't know. I'm so tired. So anyway, the challenge is continuing. I have read for a total of 20 hours. I don't know how many pages I've read. I have my journal where I've tried to keep track. It's hard, but I'm hoping it's a way to kind of break it up. Take a break from reading. I am currently grocery shopping. So I have my audiobook. I'm listening to Daisy Darker, which I am hooked. It's like a murder mystery and I love it. I love the narrator. So I'm about 3.5 hours into that book out of 11. And so I'm listening to that and yeah. So I did not stay up late reading. I read until about 11. So that is staying up late, but I wanted to stay up even later and I passed out and I am still so tired. Like I woke up and I couldn't get up. So we'll see how today goes. I also had a friend text me about going to the pool and I'm like very tempted. Although I could bring a book and just hang out with her. I don't know. It sounds lovely though. It really does. I may do it. I'm trying to decide if I want to continue this challenge tomorrow too and just see how much I'm able to read in 2 days. What I should have done is break it up 12 and 12. But because it started at 8 p.m., that was kind of hard. And I like to be, like I said earlier, I like to be part of the community. So anyway, all right, well, I'm going to go grocery shopping, which means Target, which means also shopping. But I will be listening to Daisy Darker because the second person has been murdered. And they can't leave the house yet. And bum, bum, bum. It's really good. It's really good. I get the hype of it. I'm curious why people don't like it. But I'm easily pleased, so I think I'll end up liking it. But I'm just curious if it's the ending. We'll see. So, also, read more, ban less. Thank you, Dirt Learner. It is Sunday morning. I only read for like 8 hours of the Readathon yesterday, and so I'm just gonna leave it at that. It's fine. I didn't finish Sybil yet, and that was my main goal. So I'm hoping this morning, if I have book club in like 2.5 hours, I'm hoping to kind of knock it out. At this point, I've been just skimming it. I'm just kind of ready to see what's gonna happen. At the end, I don't know. It's a weird book. So that's where I'm at this morning. And yeah, I'll keep you posted on what my, final page count is for the week. I'm excited to see how much I read. All right, here is the final 1,842 pages. I read the most on Wednesday with 453. But you know what? I was almost at 200 almost every day. Let's see, only Monday and Thursday I didn't hit 200. So that, I kind of wish, I feel like
average is 200 for me, so it wasn't the greatest. I think Wednesday was amazing though, and so was Tuesday. I started drifting off, even with a readathon. Ugh, who am I? Oh well, I read some really great books, and I got through Sybil more than, I probably would have, so there you go. That is my final tally for how many pages I read. And then, of course, make sure you like and subscribe. And thanks for watching. Goodbye.